Hey gang, what's up? Welcome back here to another edition of Mental Mondays, and thanks for tuning in to today's video. And if it's the first time viewer, guys, if you're just new to the channel, this is something we do once a month, or excuse me, once a week. That's usually just sort of a break from the fishing videos. I usually try to talk about something that sort of stretches, exercises everybody's brain a little bit. So welcome if it's your first time, and welcome back all the regulars that are here every Monday. Much appreciated. Today, guys, we're going to be talking about something that if you watch the channel, you know I touch on lightly a little bit here and there, but I want to talk about the sort of like the elephant in the room. It's like if we don't change our ways as a species, as a human civilization, I just don't think we're going to be here much longer. And it's out of our own ignorance would be the only reason that we're not. And there's couple different things that came up this last week that made me wanted to delve into this into detail. So that's what we're gonna do here. You guys know that if you watch the channel, you know that I'm really passionate about environmental issues, and for the life of me, I don't understand why every person is not, because if we don't have a sustainable environment to sustain not only ourselves but the creatures and the plants and the life forms on this planet, you know, we're not going to make it. So it ought to be at the forefront and the number one priority in everybody's, you know, daily life to take care of our environment to make it sustainable. But there's a lot of special interest groups, and people get locked into some fake information silos out of special interest agendas that undermine that topic. They goof on it. They go to the direction of fake science rather than the reality of it. So I want to get into that a little bit here. So, you know, here's the thing about it. You know, humans have been living on this planet for about two and a half million years is the best guess. They've been making stone tools, you know, for 2.5 million years at least. So here we have the human species that has lived in harmony, with the environment for 2.5 million years, guys. Do you know what an achievement that is for a species to actually survive that long? So well, hold on one second, I got Sage out. I gotta go grab her here. I'll be right back. Sorry about that, guys. Had to get Sage squared away. But anyway, what I was talking, it's like that's a remarkable achievement for any species to survive for 2.5 million years, living in balance with the planet. So what we've had here is like, look what's happened. We basically, as a species, we lived for 2.5 million years on this planet with basically no evidence that we were here. It's like everything that we did, it's like we didn't do anything that really scarred it permanently. We didn't do anything that really undermined the sustainability for a long time. It's like we lived in balance with this planet, and it's like it stayed pretty much unchanged for that entire time. The landscape of our planet remained unchanged pretty much up until like the 1700s around here. And what has happened is, like, specifically over the past 100 years or so, and this is what I'm saying, if we don't change our ways, we're not going to make it, is mankind has wiped out 55% of the species on this planet, basically through overdevelopment, through pollution, through, you know, just our own ignorance. We've wiped out 55% of the species on this planet, different plants and animal life out there that have been here for millions of years. In just 100 years, we've grown the population of this planet from about 1 billion people to almost 8 billion people in 100 years. The lands, if you just take the United States itself, the face of the United States, what was the indigenous United States, is unrecognizable. 250 years ago, guys, our country was a wilderness from one end to the other. There was probably about 5 to 8 million Native Americans living throughout of it, living in peace and harmony with it. And but regardless, it was basically an untamed wilderness up until about 250 years ago. Look what we have now. It's literally, it's basically a concrete jungle connected by interstate highways and roads from one end to the other, with constant, relentless development going on as we speak. Guys, every single day when you roll out of bed, there are thousands of acres that get bulldozed down of wildlife habitat for non-essential crap items like, you know, smoke shops or another shopping mall or whatever like that. It goes on constantly like that. We've polluted our water and air to the point where we can't drink our water out of our lakes and streams anymore. We can't eat fish. There's mercury contamination warnings on every single state in this country about eating fish. We've polluted our oceans. We got millions of tons of trash floating around in our oceans. We've overfished and depleted our oceans. It's like what the human species has done to this planet in the last 100 years it's there's no excuse for it. It's horrific. It's irresponsible. It's like people, if we survive another 100 years on this planet, they're going to look back at it as some of the biggest, the time of the biggest villains of humans that inhabited this earth for what we've done to it. So the point of the matter is, guys, is we have got to pull our head out of our butts on this, because we can't have this argument as far as people trying to undermine the science of climate change and undermine the science of environmental issues for some type of political agenda. And that's exactly what's going on right here. It's like, it's not only a political agenda, but it's a for-profit agenda, because there's a lot of profit in destroying the environment. It's just like losing the rainforest down there. I mean, it's just like, it's sick as what is happening, what has happened to the rainforest in the past 30 years down there, simply so some, lady in China can have a, $5,000 mahogany, coffee table or something like that. We have got to have a major paradigm shift. If we don't have a major paradigm shift and start placing environmental issues at the forefront of our existence, at the forefront of our political agenda, at the forefront of everything out there, we're not going to make it. We are not going to make it. You cannot continue to exploit and pollute and degrade the planet, overpopulate it, and still survive on it. You cannot do that. No other species can. It's like, when any other species begins to live out of balance with their environment, they don't survive. And people seem to think that humans have some ability to do that. And they think that technology is going to save us, which it's not. The only thing that's going to save us is cool, calm, collected heads, people that have critical thinking skills, people that base their decisions on scientific data, legitimate scientific data, and have the ability to look at what their actions are doing 100 years from now. It's like when you see some developer that you see all you dudes out there that are hunters, you know what I'm talking about. You see your hunting lands going away, by the minute by these developers. When you see some developer buying up a 600-acre tract of farmland or woods or something like that to put some development in, do you think those developers have any awareness of what that action is going to do 100, 200 years from now when it goes on like this? We're just talking about a developer in your area, but guys, it goes on in every county in the county. It's like when you see a prime piece of hunting land go to development, multiply that times about 1,000, and that's what's going on at the same time. So we are in the process of making ourselves extinct through our own greed and ignorance. There's no other two ways about it. It's like there's no sugarcoating it. You can say, Randy, you're pessimistic, you're negative. I'm not negative. I'm giving you the facts and giving you the reality here. It's like if somebody doesn't tell the emperor they don't have no clothes on, we're not going to make it. We have got to have a big, huge, massive shift in the way that we think. We cannot have people out there that are in positions of power and influence, media corporations, politicians that push some type of a false narrative that is dangerous to our very long-term survival environmentally in this planet. And that's what we have right now. Make no mistake about it, guys. There is a huge agenda out there that downplays, discredits science in order to keep the profits flowing and protect profits at all cost, damn the environment. So anyway, guys, the reason I wanted to do this video is I saw that statistic that there were some archaeologists that were saying that they figured that the humans have been making stone tools for over 2.5 million years, and how incredible that, how long 2.5 million years is to have lived in balance with this planet and what we have done to this planet in the last 100 years. It makes me sick out there. So like I said, and here's the problem with it, guys. It's like the only, and here's the good and the bad, and it's bad at this point. But the only way that this changes is through political legislation. You cannot say, well, Randy, you need to get rid of your truck and your bass boat and get a canoe. That's not helping things, guys. What you do is you have legislation passed that does real change as far as protecting the long-term sustainability of this planet. And there's a ton of different ways that you can do that out there. So like I said, if we don't change, guys, it doesn't take a genius. Just, I mean, every single person out there, even you guys out there that think that I don't know what the hell I'm talking about and that I'm just, living in some fantasy world. Just all you have to do is picture yourself. Picture the rate of development that you see, even if you think that I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. Picture the rate of development to what you see. Picture the population growth that you see. Picture the amount of increasing pollution that you see on a daily level, and multiply it 100 years from now. And think about that. Multiply that for 100 years from now. When you add up all of the development that's going on in your hometown, when you see a corner of a woods getting knocked down for a gas station or whatever, you multiply that times every county in every state in this country times 100 years. And if that doesn't scare you, if that doesn't horrify you at what this planet or what our country is going to look like in 100 years from now, you don't have much of an imagination, because it doesn't take much of an imagination. So anyway, guys, encourage your politicians, state and federal politicians, to pass environmentally responsible laws that allow sustainability to become at the forefront here. Because if not, we're not going to make it, man. We're going to be like the T-Rexes or something. And it's like, which the planet doesn't care. It's like, here's the thing of what I'm talking about. A lot of the planet cannot survive without a different species on here, just like bees. This planet can survive fine without us on there. In fact, it would do a lot better if humans weren't on this planet, as far as when you look at a pure environmental standpoint. But we are here, and we are more aware than other creatures on this planet, so we have a responsibility to take care of it. We're the one destroying it. We also have a responsibility to take care of it, and we're not doing it right now. We're failing it. We are the crappiest caretakers of this earth in the history of caretakers. The last 100 years. Human species, the last 100 years, have done the worst job of anything. And it doesn't have anything to do with religious belief systems. If you guys try to pass it off as some, everything's cool with God, it's not. It's about our own greed and our own ignorance and our own stupidity that's causing this, nothing else. So I'm a little riled about it, because like I said, I want this planet great. I mean, for my son Elijah, I want this planet strong and healthy and vibrant, and it's just not heading that direction. And it really, really, it's beyond irritating, and it should be to everyone out there. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like I said, much appreciated you listening. We'll talk later.